Hey guys, Magnus here, bringing you another video where we're going to be going through how good is the Halloween update for 2017 so far. So of course we're going to do sort of the similar format with the top, but instead of top five, where I do top five good reasons, top five bad reasons, I'm doing four because honestly I found five too hard, and one of the reasons for the why it was good is actually pretty cheesy and bad reason. Um, and I don't know. I like overall, like I generally found it hard to actually come up with really good points. So maybe this update isn't as good as I thought. Maybe I'm just giving it more credit than where credit is not due. I don't know, but I guess it's also because I don't want to repeat the same things. For example, like the land, like that was a point ages ago with Destination Springfield, I think, or was it? I don't think it was Destination Springfield, but one of the points I had was, oh, it added loads of land. Well, this one added loads of land, but I'm not going to count that as a point. So anyway, let's go. So first of all, we have, so we'll go through the top four reasons why it's good, the top four reasons why it's bad, and then we'll do my best character and my best building. So first of all, the first reason why I think it's really, really good as an update is really the summoning and the fighting creatures. I think it's really original and fun. Now, I know that it is a bit tedious as well, and I understand that. But I think once you've got a fair collection of characters who can fight the monsters, it is actually pretty good. And I think this is the sort of similar thing with the music thing, where you sent them to go perform. Obviously, it wasn't great at the start, but once you got quite a few characters to actually send, it got better. And I think it's probably something very similar here, where it's not amazing at the minute, but it's good now. Like, you got a fair few characters. Like, you got the Great Raimondo, you've got obviously the costumes for Lisa and Bart, you've got Angelica Button. I was really hoping that once you summon the creatures, that you'd actually get the creatures to fight, but obviously not. They just give you more decorations, as many decorations as you want, which I guess is kind of cool, but it would be cool if we actually unlock them as proper characters, which I would much prefer. So that's my sort of first point, that the whole summoning fighting creatures I think is really original and fun. The second point is I actually really enjoy the quest line. I've been reading the quest line. I actually really think the story is pretty cool. Like, I like the theme as a whole, and that will be my third point. But the theme, I think they in the quest line, they've really kind of, they've really gone to it, and I think it is quite well written, and I am enjoying the story, and I want to see what happens in Act 3. So yeah, I think the quest line overall is really, really good. It's not really, I can't really go into much detail with it, but yeah, I like the writing. And the third point is they really stick to the theme, and they make it, because they stick to the theme so closely, the structure of the event is just awesome. It's really, really good. It's a really, really good structure. And it sort of goes into the whole quest line as well, because that's part of the structure, but they really have made it a really solid event, and they don't really exit the whole quest line, apart from a few things that we're going to be getting, like we're going to get the store clerk for the House of Evil, which is fine because they have to return the Halloween stuff anyway, so they may as well throw in him, in there in a deal or something. That's perfectly fine. I don't really see much of a problem with that. And I think that the theme as a whole, they've really stuck to it. Although it's not an amazing theme, and I'm not entirely happy that it's taken over all of Halloween. I still think it does tie. They've made it tie nicely into a kind of a Halloweenish theme, but the actual theme as a whole, I thought is pretty good. I like the magic theme. And then the final kind of good point is it's better than most annual events, and I know this is kind of a cop-out for a point, but I actually think it is a fair point that the most annual events like Christmas and Thanksgiving and Valentine's Day and St. Patrick's Day, like think of St. Patrick's Day, Valentine's Day and 4th of July that we've had so far this year. They've all been awful. Like, this one is the first proper annual event that has not been too bad. I don't know what Thanksgiving is going to be like. It might be awful. It might be brilliant. I don't know what Christmas is going to be like. It might be brilliant. It might be 10 times better than this. But we don't know yet. But so far, this has been the best annual event this year. And that's saying something, considering it's the other end of the year. But yeah, it's better than the most annual events that we've got so far. I mean, as a whole, I think Halloween is always the best events. We get the best events in Halloween. I think as a whole, although I say that, I always end up saying Christmas is better because it gave us Maggie one year and it had a really, really good update one year. But Christmas hasn't always been like that. It's been pretty crappy. Halloween's been pretty pretty good for most of the part. Even the worst Halloween, I don't think is terrible. Like it's pretty bad, but it's not as bad as like the Clash of Crap or the Clash of Easter or something like that. It's not as bad as that. So yeah, that's my final point. Anyway, let's get into the 4 reasons why it's bad. So the first bad reason, I guess, is probably the most of the characters that we get really should be costumes, and I think this is probably the reason why this update isn't perfect. And one thing that would make this update, I guess, better, but the problem with that then is we won't get very many characters, so it's kind of a double-edged sword, so to speak, because either way, we are pissed off. If we get a bunch of costumes that are cool, but we don't get any characters, then we're going to be annoyed. If we get a bunch of characters that really should be costumes, we're going to be annoyed. It's always the same, and they always do this, and it's a problem, and I'm still going to put it as a bad issue. Like, they should be costumes, those things, or they just shouldn't be in the game at all. Really, most of them shouldn't be characters, and it is just annoying because these things are going to be walking around our towns after the events, and it's just really off-putting in a way. I really don't like it. I know it's a kind of a nitpicky thing to point out, but I really do think it is something that kind of drags the event down a little bit, in my opinion. So yeah, I'm putting that as a reason. There is a few characters like that really should be costumes, and I think we know the ones like the Burns Dragon, and I really like the Burns Dragon as well. And there's other ones, of course. The grey stash for Homer, like that should be a costume for Homer, but it's not. There's a few like that. Anyway, moving on. The next point is that it's not very Halloween based, and I think this is probably a thing that a lot of people are bringing up. That really it's a magic event. It's not really a Halloween event. They haven't really, apart from the returning stuff, they haven't really gone into any Halloween based stuff. Most of the creatures look pretty harmless, like Crawl and Barfly and Lude, which is the ones for Lenny and Carl and Barney. They should be costumes. Those ones, for example, they're all like not very scary looking things. Like, we're getting Count Dracula, and he's pretty scary. The evil shopkeeper's pretty cool. But apart from that, the rest of them are pretty lame. None of them are that terrifying. So I guess really, like, the event, the characters that they provided us and the theme they provided us isn't very Halloween based as a whole. So it kind of brings the update down a little bit, but it's not the worst point. Like, I still really like the structure and stuff, so I can't really say it's that bad, but I think that is a point to why it is a little bad. Next up, the third point is the crappy squeaky voice teen costume. I have to bring this up because every time they do one of these really scummy things, also they only made it available in Act 1, so anyone like myself who wasn't willing to pay doesn't get it, which is kind of annoying. Obviously I will get it eventually. I'll just get a hacker to get it for me, but I don't really like doing that. I really don't like doing that because I don't even like giving my origin details out, right? Okay. That's the main reason. But yeah, I just think as a whole, it's a really bad concept when they do this, when they essentially make a costume that's £5 or $6 or however, I don't know how many euros it is, but when they make something that expensive, I mean, I'm not sure if it is $6, but you get the point. When they make something that actually costs real life money, you have to actually pay out of your bank account. It is pretty scummy, if you ask me, and I really don't like it. I think it is. They really shouldn't do it, if you ask me. And then my final point is the crafting this year is just awful. I think we can all agree the crafting is just terrible this year. They've made it so bad. Like, it's just so bad what they've done. They've essentially just given us a few new items, but most of the items they've given us are just rehashes of old stuff, and I haven't even bothered with the crafting really. I've just got a few of the decorations that are new, but even the decorations that are new aren't that amazing. There is no really cool decorations. It's pretty crappy overall. So yeah, that's my final point. Decorations and crafting overall is just pretty bad. And then for my favourite character actually is the Burns Dragon. I do think he is the coolest character we've got so far. I kind of like Angelica Button, but to be honest, she's a bit boring for me. The Great Raimondo is pretty cool as well, actually. I kind of like him. I haven't seen Count Dracula and the Evil Shopkeeper, but I feel like either the Count Dracula or the Evil Shopkeeper will be my favourite characters overall in this event, just by the look of them. I haven't seen the task, so we don't know. But so far, my favourite character that I've actually got in the game is the Burns Dragon. And then finally, my favorite building is actually the Great Raimondo's home. I actually think this building is actually really cool, and I actually really enjoyed decorating it. It just looks so cool in the town. It just looks like a like a nice, well, a huge building. It's quite big for one person. I'm hoping he's living with other people, but yeah, it is just a cool. It's just a nice looking building, really, and that's the only reason I think it's the best building we've got so far. But that is the my how good is it so far up to video. I hope you enjoyed. Please, tell me what videos you want to see next and all that stuff. And yeah, I'll see you next video. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.